Hi class, today we are in Saxon Book 3, Lesson 70, and today's the day you learn the rest of your multiplication facts. So we have done all the tricks for ones, for twos, for fives, for nines, for tens, 11s, and 12s. These are all that is left. So they call this the memory group, because these are the multiplication facts we don't really have a trick for. We just have to memorize them. Now, that being said, I do have a little trick for two of them. So we're going to start with 3 times 4. And instead of putting my equal sign here, I'm going to write it on this side. It doesn't matter where your equal sign is or how you write an equation as long as both sides are equal. We just typically put the problem followed by the answer. But in this case, I'm going to put the answer followed by the problem because I want you to see the pattern here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. 12 is equal to 3 times 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, that can help you remember 3 times 4 is 12. And that same trick works over here with 7 and 8. 56 is equal to 7 times 8. So if you were here in class, we would be doing a little 5, 6, 7, 8 chant over and over again, because when I have a student that is looking at 7 times 8 or at 8 times 7, I like to tell them 5, 6, 7, 8, like you're about to get ready to do a routine or a dance. 5, 6, 7, 8. 56 is equal to 7 times 8. So those are my two tricks I have in addition to all of the other Saxon tricks that we've talked about so far this year. For the rest of these, we just have to do our count bys in order to get up to whatever it's asking from us. So we're going to go through this whole list and figure out the answer. Starting with 3 times 6. Do we want to count by 3 or do we want to count by 6? Some of you are probably saying either one, so it tends to be easier to count by 3 than 6, even though we have to go farther when we do it this way. But let's count by 3 6 times. So we have 3, 6, 9, 12, 16, 18. 3 times 6 is equal to 18. Then we have 3 times 7. Well, gee, we just counted 6 groups of 3 and we got up to 18. So 7 groups of 3 is just going to be 3 more. So we had 18, 3 more gives us 21, and 3 times 7 is equal to 21. 3 times 8. Hey, there's a pattern here. We were up to 21, and now we need one more group of 3. So 21 plus 3 more gives us 24. And there's the rest of our 3s. Now we're going to move on to our 4 facts. So we have 4 times 6. I think I'd rather count by 4s than 6. So we're going to count 6 times, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. 4 times 6 is 24. And then we move on to 4 times 7. So just like with the 3s, we've got a little count by 4 pattern going on. We were at 24. We need to add one more group of 4. So that's going to give us 28. 4 times 8, we were at 28. We need one more group of 4. 28 plus 4 would be 32. I'm going to move this one over so they don't blend together so well. Okay? So I'll write it this way because I really want you to remember 5, 6, 7, 8. Without that trick, for some reason, this one tends to be one of the harder multiplication problems to remember. So it's really nice to have this 5, 6, 7, 8 trick. Now we're going to do 6 times 7. I've avoided counting by sixes. No more avoiding it. Now we have to count by 6 7 times. Or I guess I've been using these two fingers. 7 times. So 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42. 6 times 7 is 42. Again, this one tends to be one of the harder ones. I don't have any trick for it other than if you can just really stick it in your head. 6 times 7 is 42. 7 times 6 is 42. Whichever way we write it, it still equals 42. So then 6 times 8, we were at 42. We need one more group of 6. So that's going to give us 48. And here is our memory group. We just have to memorize them. So if you're in my class, your lesson plans this week came with a printout of some flashcards which include all of these problems. Now, I made a mistake and I printed it double side. So if you want to wait to cut apart the flashcards until after you do your investigation, because you'll need the back side of that paper for your investigation. But after your investigation, feel free, cut them apart, use them as flashcards, and practice these until you are super quick at it. So the other thing I want to tell you is now that you know all the multiplication tricks, MobyMax is a great resource to use. If you're in my class, you already have an account. And if you haven't been using it, please send me a message and say, Mrs. Duarte, what is my username and password? And I will get that to you right away. But MobyMax has a fact practice section, and it's timed. I think it's set to give you 6 seconds per problem, and you just go through it and through it and through it, and the program keeps track of which problems you know, and then it gives you new problems so that you can start to memorize those as well. For those of you that are not in my class, MobyMax offers their service. It's a limited version, but it's free to homeschoolers. So if you want to sign up as a homeschool parent, you can get your kid a username and password, and they can practice their facts on MobyMax as well. All right, so my class, you need to turn off this video before you do your lesson practice, because your lesson practice is writing down answers to these multiplication problems, and I don't want you looking at the answers. I want you to figure them out for yourself. So do your lesson practice and then begin your written practice. The lesson practice is on page 379. The written practice starts on page 380. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you soon.